in France. To match day 6, Nantes versus Panathinaikos from Beaujour Stadium in Nantes, France. And this game is still all about first place in Group A, Tommy, because even though Panathinaikos has clinched the spot, it is not necessarily the #1 spot. So Nantes could end up at first place if they win today.
Yes, if we look at the table, we can of course see that Nantes would end up with 11 points to Panathinaikos 10. And of course, if Nantes lose today and Porto win, well, it will still mean that Nantes will go through because they have the better tie-breaking series.
Right now, it's Panathinaikos on top, Nantes in the 2nd spot. Porto still has a chance, but some things have to happen today, and something's happening today in France. It's snowing out as we get set to check out the starting lineups. We'll check out Nantes first. They're the home side. And the good news for Nantes, Tommy, is that the number 6 player, Ferri, has passed his fitness test.
Yes, there were a lot of questions all week as to whether he would be playing or not. And of course, he's their captain. He's the man who leads by example. Would have been a tremendous loss, but they have him in there today.
And Durham and Pedros, 2 key players in the middle of that field, and Kosecki and Ouédec, 2 outstanding strikers. So Nantes have some offensive firepower today. They'll go up against a Panathinaikos team that has done a solid job defensively so far in the Champions League, and they have been a surprise. And one of the reasons for their solid defense has been the play of the goalkeeper, the Polish international Wandzik.
Oh yeah, he has come up big on a number of occasions, especially when they need him. Some keepers play very well under pressure. He's one of those keepers who plays well under pressure. Kind of a little lapse, a memory lapse here and there, but on the whole, he's been very good.
See the weather conditions, not great for soccer, that's for sure. That was Casagrande getting ready. 6 degrees Celsius, a frozen field, which the field is probably going to get worse. It's not going to get better as this game progresses. We'll see how much of a factor, though, Tommy, that plays in this game. Sundell is your referee. All of the officials are from Sweden.
But of course, what we have to take into consideration, not alone is the ground going to be very slippery on the top, it's going to be very hard and bumpy on the bottom. So it's going to be very difficult to control the ball out there today.
And you can see the white stuff already on the field. Nantes in yellow and green, Panathinaikos in solid green. We're underway. And you'll see a lot of players wearing gloves today. And if they don't start the game with them, you may see them with them later. This one goes out, a throw-in coming up for Nantes. Number 8 is Pedros. He scored 2 in match day 5. Checking out our keys to victory for Nantes. They must be able, Tommy, to handle the pressure of being here at home and needing at least some kind of a result to advance.
Well, it's always pressure when you're playing at home in front of a big crowd and you have to advance. And of course, the chemistry of the forwards has been questioned. Pedros and Durham, sometimes it's felt that they need 2 balls out there because they really don't play well together at times. And it'll be interesting to see if they can knit in today.
Off the throw-in for Nantes. Inside the box. And Durham's pass is blocked. Panathinaikos will come away with it. Among their keys, they've got 2 outstanding strikers that are both out of the starting lineup today, including Wandzik.
Wandzik and Jonas both out, so they're trying to replace them today. And of course, they've had 3 shutouts in the last 4 games, so they're going to try to keep that record going. And the one thing, of course, they want to do is win this group, because the winners of this group will beat the 2nd team in the opposite group.
Played inside, and that one does not get through. Wandzik and Jonas have combined this year for 13 goals of the 22 goals scored by their team in the Greek league. Wandzik has 11 on his own. That's Pedros, a gifted forward for this Nantes team. Panathinaikos will play it long up the middle. Cut off there by the number 5 player, Guyot. Christodoulou, number 4 in green, will take it away. 11 is Caporanis. He plays it up the flank. And the goalkeeper, Casagrande, is there.
Oh, Casagrande is a good man to play all the box. He's always very quick off his line. He's also very good in the air. Very safe hands, which could become a very important factor today.
Especially today with the goalkeeper's foot problems, the traction coming out, they have to be doubly sure before they make an advance. We are scoreless in the opening moments of play. Linesman had the flag up on the far side.
Yeah, Pedros is the man who's offside. He scored 2 brilliant goals in the last game. Young man who has a great future. He has played at the under-21 junior, and he's had a couple of caps on the senior team as well for France.
You're talking about their chemistry up top. When Durham plays, he gets most of the ball. When he doesn't play, then Pedros comes in. So the question is, can they work their magic together today?
That'll be a good question. And, you know, it's a big game. They got to settle down. They got to play as a team. This is a team sport.
Up near the halfway line, Panathinaikos will take it. Borelli wearing number 7 today. Here's Borelli, the Argentine, down the right flank. And he slips and falls. He claims he was pushed. Taken out of the back by Nantes. Pedros. Over 3 minutes gone. First half, there's the only dry spot, that big circle at the center of the field. The rest of the field slightly covered by a light dusting of snow, but it's still snowing, so it's going to get worse. Play is continuing with Panathinaikos.
Well, Guyot thought he was fouled there coming up. I think a lot of people in the crowd thought so too, but the referee waved play on.
Right side of the field. Nice tackle. Throw-in coming up for Nantes. Nantes, I think, has the edge in speed today, but we may not see that because of the ground conditions here.
Yeah, well, the conditions are going to make it a very level playing pitch for everybody. I mean, both teams have to play on it, so it will take away the dimension of the speed. It also helps out the defenders because you know exactly what you're going to do, where an attacker may have to cut at the last moment, and that's where it's going to be a problem. Once you make that sharp cut, you could be in trouble.
We've already seen players slipping quite a bit in the opening minutes.
I thought that was my Christmas stocking there.
Guyot is back for it. Laurent Guyot came up through the youth system, as did many of the players here. And there's a problem. Ball was played to one side of Kosecki, and he couldn't make the cut and adjust. On a dry field, maybe he can.
And you can also see the Panathinaikos are going to use a flat back four. They're not going to give anything away. We spoke about the great record to have, only allowing goals in one game. I mean, 3 shutouts. You can't ask for anything better than that.
We're in the 5th minute of play in this first half. Nantes with the ball. Scoreless between they and Panathinaikos. Apostolakis will give it up right side to Borelli. Borelli is the key to the midfield. Played on the Copa America team for Argentina in '95. Possession will go to Nantes. Dizet, number 3. To number 4, Decroix. Makélélé. Makélélé, born in Zaire, gives it up. Play now over to the far side, and this one will go out. You're going to see a lot of passes incomplete today. Players misreading, won't have time to adjust their runs because of the weather conditions.
Well,
a slippery ball won't help either.
If it keeps snowing like it is and gets a little bit harder, you may not be fit to see from one end of the field to the opposite end. And it's really coming down here heavy, and it's so cold. What, it's about 16, 17 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, it's unbelievably cold.
Pedros plays it ahead, nobody there.
And that's another factor too. If you're a goalkeeper today, you know, you're standing there, your team is attacking all the time, and all of a sudden a break comes. I mean, you can be almost frozen in the one spot. Goalkeepers have to take special precautions today. Make sure to keep moving because, you know, you can really get yourself stiffened up in a situation like this.
Marinos was the foul player by Dizet. Apostolakis, number 2. And making sure of that ball was Casagrande. Struck long, intended for Pedros. Shoulder to shoulder. How about that for holding? I guess it's easy to hold when you get the gloves on. That's Juan Roca, the head coach of Panathinaikos. He's bundled up.
Well, they're all bundled up here today, but you can see a nice job being done on Pedros. The one thing you don't want to let Pedros do is get away because he's got a lot of pace, and even on a field like this, if he has the ball at his foot, he knows exactly where he's going to go. It's going to be very difficult to catch him.
You can tell by the clothing gear worn by the coaches that this was not a surprise storm. This is weather that was expected.
Well, I think you can also see what Panathinaikos have come here to do. They've come here just to nullify Nantes. They don't care whether they scored or not. They come out of here with a tie. It means both teams are through to the next round.
more important for Panathinaikos. It means first place and a lesser foe to play in that first round. Spartak Moscow right now, you don't want to play. They're the only team in the UEFA Champions League with an unblemished record.
And they're also a team that many of the experts in Europe are now starting to say perhaps can give Ajax a good run for the money. Perhaps a team they might be able to beat them.
Makélélé will give it up. And Durham back for it. All the way to the right side. Here comes Nantes on the attack. They've scored 7 goals in their last 3 games in this Champions League, including 2 against Porto. Played inside, never got there. A chance perhaps here for far out. The shot right at the keeper from Ferri, the man that passed the fitness test, the team captain. He let it go hard, but right at the keeper.
Well, the local lad gets the first good shot on goal. A man who was born and bred here, and he's leading by example here. Takes the shot, and why not? Situation like this, he's hoping for the short hop in front of the keeper, but the keeper positioned himself perfectly.
Ferri has been bothered by a thigh strain.
Well, he certainly knows his way around here, JP. He joined this club when he was only 16 years old, so he spent a lifetime at Nantes.
And Dizet gives it up. Guyot. Not the better side in terms of ball possession, building up an attack, but they've got a little more to gain here and a lot more to lose than Panathinaikos. It's always different when one team has clinched and the other has not. Pedros bends it inside. Almost got there. Nice job defensively by number 5, Kalitzakis.
Well, they were looking for Ouédec inside, the man who has scored so many goals for them. 59 goals in 134 matches. If this one gets to his head, it could be another one. But a nice play there by Panathinaikos defender to push it away.
Corner kick coming up. They go short. There's the shot blocked. Good chance there. Pedros had the opportunity. Makélélé bends it to the far side. There's no chance for anyone there.
Well, the goalkeeper's just a little bit lucky that one wasn't on target. I think he misplayed the ball. He misread where it was going to go.
We're in the 10th minute of this first half. Not the kind of game that anyone likes to sit through, whether it's fans, coaches, players. Tough field conditions today.
Well, the spirit is good here for Nantes. Of course, they realize exactly what they have to do. A loss today and they're in good. I believe that was the president of the French Federation we just saw sitting with his lovely wife.
Nantes will take over. And now Panathinaikos will just blast it over the halfway line. A whistle stops play.
And you can see how much it has snowed because that center circle has been covered. Look at the difference in the area of the ground. I mean, the snow is coming down here very, very heavily. Look at even the track of the ball when they play it along the ground. This one might not be finished.
Ouédec has it blocked out. Corner kick coming out. Ouédec is a good goal scorer.
Well, the only man who has beaten him in goals in terms of Nantes was Patrick Loco, who went to Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, Ouédec scored 20 goals for them in '94. He's gone off the boil a bit, but if he comes back on, they could be a very dangerous team.
Corner for Makélélé. Sends it into the near post, and it never got there. Cleared away by Panathinaikos.
I don't think that was his intention. I think he just muffed it.
Panathinaikos comes in here with several injuries. Same with Nantes.
Well, Nantes have about 7 players who are not playing today who would have been considered to be on the team at the beginning of the season. I think the biggest loss for them is Chanelet, the man who controlled the midfield, the youngster who was brought here to replace Loco.
Right side, Kosecki, broken up. Kosecki is a Polish international. This Nantes team have plenty of players that can put the ball in the back of the net. Kosecki and Durham, Ouédec, Pedros, Makélélé, the 5 guys right there. And there's one of them. He's the big gun offensively right now. And Durham sends it inside and it's cleared away.
Well, and Durham comes from Chad. In fact, France would love to have him to play internationally with them, but he's already played internationally with Chad, so he's not available to the French team.
Casagrande has 11 goals this year in the French League. He had 12 all of last year. Foul called on Nantes. Number 5, Guyot. Free kick. Panathinaikos, Ferri. All the way back. Panathinaikos and Marcos will play it back. One of the things that Panathinaikos must watch out for today, Tommy, 6 players have yellow cards, and you know they're going to advance in the next round, so they can't afford, at least those 6 players, to take another yellow card, or else they'll miss the first game in the next round.
So that's going to be very important. I mean, it's one thing to qualify, but you get into the quarterfinals, and I mean, it can be an awful lot of money. There's a lot of money at stake here when you advance to the semi-finals.
Kosecki was brought down. Free kick coming up for Nantes. Wandzik positions the troops. Pedros will take the free kick. 24-year-old French international guns it off the left foot, far post. Wandzik couldn't hold it. Nobody there for a rebound. And that will be another danger today, whether you're wearing gloves or not, is being able to hold on to a wet ball that's got some spin on it.
Oh, that was great reaction by the keeper, JP, but he realized he was in a bit of trouble and said, okay, I can't hold on to this, so let me just parry it out. And he pushed it away. He doesn't push it into the middle. A lot of keepers push a ball like that back down the middle. Somebody coming to get it. He pushes it to the side, so it's a very safe play.
On the throw, and it's headed down and now cleared up by Panathinaikos in the 15th minute of a scoreless game. This result would still be fine for Nantes. They would go into the final 8. But they can't lose, because if they lose and Porto win against Aalborg, then Porto gets in and Nantes would be out. Panathinaikos, the 31-year-old vet, here since 1989 with his team.
Well, in the perfect world, I suppose the perfect result for both these teams would be a tie. Panathinaikos would still win the group and Nantes would advance.
Here comes Nantes. Cut by Ouédec to Pedros. He tried to return the favor. He'll get a corner kick for his efforts.
Ouzounidis is the man who blocks him down, and he's done a good job. That's about 3 corners he's given up now here on this right-hand side.
Ouédec getting in position for the Pedros corner. Off the left foot. Punched down by Wandzik. Oh, late and nasty.
Well, you know, Wandzik, a very experienced player. He has 50 caps for Poland, and you can see the experience today. He's not trying to hold on to the ball, because it would probably be very, very difficult to do it. The ball is so slippery, so he's just knocking it out of there and letting his defenders clean up, and they know exactly what he's going to do.
They're going to have to keep that up, Tommy, because the way it looks, Nantes has come out, they're looking for a goal, they're pressing, and the more corners they get, the more free kicks they get, the more opportunities, and you wonder if one is not going to slip by.
Well, you know, there's an old saying that the best form of defense is a good attack, and maybe Panathinaikos could get caught, because certainly if Nantes score a goal here, it will change their posture completely. I mean, they're keeping 5 and 6 players back. They're not pushing anybody forward. I know they have a problem. Both the recognized strikers are not playing, but they're still not showing us that they have a striker on the field at all.
Played long. Panathinaikos has double covered by Nantes. All the way back to the keeper, Casagrande.
And when you look at that particular play, the man that were playing the ball to was Panathinaikos, the number 2 player, and look where he was at. He was playing as an old outside right.
Guyot going forward. Ouédec. Oh, he had Pedros wide open.
Well, you know, if you go to the well often enough, you may eventually get the water, and that's what he's trying to do, because Pedros has broken about 4 or 5, maybe a half dozen times down along this left wing, and the ball just hasn't gotten to him. If it does, it'll be a real good opportunity for Nantes.
Marinos, who played on the 1994 World Cup team when Greece qualified for the first time ever. Couldn't do much with that ball. Advantage goes to the offense in weather conditions like this, because they know what they want to do. It's still slippery for them, but the defense has to make that quick adjustment. Oh, that was an adjustment.
Oh, that should be a card.
Yeah. And you know what? Ouzounidis already has one, so he will not be able to play when we go to the quarterfinals in the first leg. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Well, I suppose if there's he probably saved a great opportunity here because Nadorm was breaking through. There was nobody back to cover him, so he just took the opportunity, took a chance. He said, maybe the referee won't see it. I may not get the card, but doesn't get away with it.
Ouzounidis with the yellow. We're getting set for the free kick for Nantes. Game is still scoreless. That's Pedros. Reynald Pedros. Outside of the box. Off the left foot on the chip inside. And it looked like number 5 was Guyot that got up there.
Oh, Guyot was coming from deep, and he probably would have gotten to it, but there was a little miscommunication between himself and one of his teammates. Had the ball been able to drop to him, he had the best opportunity.
Kosecki was brought down again.
Well, you know, I say Ligia Warsha would love to have him back again. I mean, he's played in Turkey with Galatasaray. He's also played in Spain, played for Atletico Madrid.
I'd like to have him back today if he could play.
The figure is 70 caps for Poland now.
No room on that left side, and it's just knocked out by Ouzounidis.
They're still looking to catch Ouzounidis out, and I mean, he hasn't put a foot wrong yet. Every time they seem to feel for some reason that they're going to be fit to break round him. They're trying to play the ball just behind them and have Pedros run onto it. Hasn't worked so far.
Oh, great effort by Borelli. South American flair. Gotta love it.
Little Ola football there.
And he's almost getting to this ball.
I think the reason he kept going was he couldn't stop because the ground is so slippery. He had to keep going or fall.
Yeah, he wasn't running, he was sliding. Chanelet's pass. Blocked. Look out. Oh, nice move. Smooth stuff. Ouzounidis.
Oh, Kalitzakis, I thought he was going to handle the ball in the middle there when he tried to pull it down.
Ouzounidis looked like a hockey player making that spin on skates. That foul goes against Nantes.
Guyot, I believe, is the man who's coming in with the studs up, and the referee whistles them off.
20th minute, another foul. Game is still scoreless. Tackling, you've got to make your adjustments as well because of the weather. The referee's got to sometimes give you, I think, a little more grace to allow for the weather conditions as well. Did a player slip? Did he actually come through like that? Did he mistime it, etc.?
Well, you know, you're starting to get a feel for how heavy it's snowing here. It's always very difficult to know at home. But when you look down on the field now, it's almost completely blanketed with the white. That piece in the middle that was covered all along, still just a little bit of a different colour. But you can see there must be a half-inch of snow on the field already.
Played all the way back to Casagrande.
I guess you have the Super Bowl. We have the Snow Bowl here. Look at the track to the ball, isn't it?
Yeah. They're not even trying to come through the middle either, through that only dry spot. Dizet. Right through. Oh, and Pedros looked back and saw the flag up. I'm not sure why he was even looking. He wasn't concentrating, certainly, if he had a chance to look up that way.
And it was Panathinaikos who was the man who was responsible for him that time because Ouzounidis was caught off field for some reason, and they're lucky because Pedros was gone to the races if the flag stayed down.
They're very lucky. Ouzounidis where he wanted it. Didn't work. Pedros on the cut. Beat one player but not two. Get some support. Dizet. Ferri's pass. Now that's knocked away. Marinos. Kostelakis. This one gets through to the halfway line. Dizet block. Now it gets a little ragged, a little choppy from both teams.
Well, you see coming in here, could have been a free. I mean, he tried. The intent was to pull the player down. Pedros is the man coming through.
Marcos to the right side. Kostelakis over 70 caps for Greece. Down the right wing. And that's covered up well.
Well, Nantes had an incredible season last year, JP. Only losing one game and winning the league out of 34. They scored 71 goals and conceded 34 goals. So I suppose they give up a goal a game, and if Panathinaikos ever gets it here, they'll be in trouble.
Getting back in a hurry defensively, we had 5 guys back there from Nantes. Looked like one of the few times, maybe the first time today, that Panathinaikos actually attacked with some numbers.
Well, you know, it's a double-edged sword today because Nantes is going to keep pushing players forward. In pushing players forward, they're going to be a little vulnerable at the back. And if somebody does happen to fall down, then they're really in trouble. So they've got to protect the back just a little bit too.
Dizet trying to finesse that through. Pedros again was open. We talked about Pedros and Durham and the chemistry. Right now, the guy that's been open all game has been Pedros. Here he is again. They're not closing him down. Pedros played it across to get the corner kick, but no one came out to greet him.
That's the first time that Ouzounidis didn't come to greet him, and he picked him up inside of the box. He came to put the foot in front of him and could have easily put the ball into the back of his own net. He pushes it out for the corner. I believe that's 4 corners now that Ouzounidis has given up, blocking the ball down from Pedros. But that's a dangerous situation. Panathinaikos better close him down a little bit quicker.
Corner kick again for Nantes. No score in this one. Still in the first half. Sent in hard and low. And now it's turned all the way out off the deflection. This shot goes wide. Shot in. Again by Pedros. He's been all over the field, and he has been open.
Oh, yeah, he's really come good of late. He's played 11 out of the last 15 games that France has played. And, of course, international football in France has started to come back again after a disaster of not qualifying for the World Cup. Let's watch what happens inside here. Look at that. A little bit of pushing. You want to dance with me? Pull over here a little bit. Move it around. It's tough going inside of that box.
Putting on the brakes, literally, that time, was Chanelet. We're in the 25th minute of this first half. It is still scoreless between Nantes and Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos in the green, Nantes in the yellow and green, and here they come. 2 different styles today. Nantes has been attacking. Panathinaikos total defense.
Oh, the keeper read that one very well, coming out between a couple of players. Let's watch it inside. They're trying to break through, but the keeper's there. That's a good play, good smart play. Another thing that's becoming a problem too here is the fact that the ball is so wide, and of course the ground is so wide, it's starting to become a little bit of a difficulty to pick it up.
We'll send this one forward over the halfway line. And that dry spot that we saw before in the center of the field is not dry anymore. That too should be covered fairly soon. Back to the keeper, Casagrande. You better make sure your keeper is expecting it on a day like today. Here's a day where you expect to almost see an own goal. And Durham, one of his few touches in this first half, and again, this is open.
Pedros is a mile open. I mean, he has all kinds of room on the far side.
What's the deal there? How is he so wide open? You know that they've got to mark him man-to-man just like they would in Durham, or at least have somebody zoned in that area, yet he's been free, no one within miles of him.
Well, what they're doing is they're pushing very long balls. They're either changing the ball, are they?
The color. Good call, Smitty. They're changing the color, so it'll be easier to see, to say the least.
I think there's a light in this one.
Impressive. Be interesting if the first shot now goes in, because the keeper has a hard time with this new colored ball, especially. Nantes has had the better possession. Actually, I thought the numbers might even be higher.
Just getting back to answer your question, the reason why I feel that Pedros is so wide open on this wing is that Nantes have been coming down the middle, and then they have been releasing somebody on the wing, and Ouzounidis has been cutting across the cover into the middle, and it seems like he's not afraid to give Pedros room on the outside. He only goes to get to him when he comes near the box, and it's worked very well so far. He's blocked down 4 shots for corners, but I'm not sure if he can play him that way for 90 minutes. I think you're going to see him come out a little bit further on him very shortly.
I'm not sure if Ouzounidis watched match day 5 when Pedro scored twice against Porto. Not only has it been snowing here, but now the wind is even picking up. You see the way the snow is blowing right in the players' faces even. Another distraction. Once you're out there, it's football. The players have to go through this. It's not going to get any better. Still scoreless, first half. Panathinaikos and Nantes. History tells us the last time we used an orange ball, November '93, Anderlecht and Milan, and they couldn't score with that ball then. Can they 2 years later?
Well, we had an orange ball and we have an orange bowl, right? So now we have both. Different football, but...
I'm glad research is telling us too that it's orange. I wasn't sure if it was orange or red. Borelli on the right.
I think it started out as white and someone had a can of spray paint before the game and just did a job on it.
Well, you know they were ready for the weather conditions when you see the different colored balls, because obviously if a ball is going out of play, I mean, you have to throw it back, but if they ever lose a ball or goes out of air, deflated, etc., they would replace it. So they were expecting this kind of weather, and that's why the different colored ball. Well done. Pedros again. Trying to cross it. That time they had a man on it. Kosecki tried to blow right through.
Okay, what they've done now, JP, is they've moved the number 2 player, Panathinaikos, out a little bit deeper towards the midfield line, and he's taken on Pedros there. And if he gets around him, then they have the number 3 player, Ouzounidis, back there waiting on him. So now they're starting to try to close him down a little bit, like I thought they might. They can't afford to give him as much room as they were giving him.
Inside. Perhaps one pass too many there by Ferri. Might have been better to take on the defender.
But Chris Todaloo is used as a sweeper or a stopper in the middle. He's not moving out of it at all, and that's why they're going to try to stop anything coming down the middle.
Chanelet commits that last foul. And I get news for it. You get, that's crazy. You get a knock today, it's going to hurt much worse because of the cold, and these guys aren't feeling the cold, obviously, but I'm sure for a different reason. For the ball.
Shirtless in Nantes, huh? On a snowy day.
Clueless in Nantes. Throw in on the far side, and it's going to be Panathinaikos. Oh, no, they're going to give it to Nantes.
Well, it certainly took the band along while they started playing. Most of their instruments were very cold.
It's going to be interesting for the linesmen, judging whether a ball is completely out of play or not now. You can't see the white lines in the sidelines.
And it's also going to be a problem figuring out where the box is.
Kosecki. When you bring up an interesting point, a ball just outside the area. Was it just outside or is it just inside? With the referee citing the spot. Free kick, he says, from where? This dry spot? Todaloo will take it. Now instead it's going to be Marinos. Still scoreless between Nantes and Panathinaikos. This is the UEFA Champions League match day 6. With Tommy Smith and Jean-Paul Delacamera. Hope you enjoyed this one in the snow in Nantes. On the left side is Panathinaikos. Cleared away by Decroix. Slip sliding away as the Kosecki. Far side. Oh, nice knock by Borelli. Borelli looks like he's played in the snow before. And the ball will belong to Nantes.
Well, we've never had a game cancelled because of snow in the Champions League, but there have been occasions. I imagine that if this snow continues just coming down the way it is, this could be a problem before it's all over, JP. I mean, there's going to be a lot of snow out there.
Panathinaikos, the dark green advancing. Busted up. Maybe a chance here for Nantes, but a player had been already down and unable to get back up was Kosecki. Offside.
Oh, that's close. That's a very close offside call.
And Durham would put it in play. And Durham has really disappeared here in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda scored.
Makélélé. In for Pedros, who just missed. Look at Kosecki. You're talking about a split second and maybe a half inch away from that ball going in.
Oh, the man in the middle misses it first, and then Kosecki comes on the end of it. Look at that one. All he needs is a touch. The keeper stays with the ball. The keeper moved very well. He was moving very cautiously, but nevertheless did a nice job to get across to it.
I think he did a great job because I think he was slightly screened by Panathinaikos and didn't quite see Kosecki. When he saw him, he got out there in a hurry.
Yeah, because his first reaction is to play the man in the middle, and the man in the middle doesn't get the touch, so then he has to reorganize himself and get across to play the man coming on the left. On a dry pitch, it's no problem, but on something like this, it's a big problem.
Have you ever played on this? Something like this?
Snowy fields, yeah, many frosted fields. Terrible to play on them. The biggest problem is the control of the ball, because the ground tends to be lumpy underneath.
Shot goes wide of Wandzik. No real good opportunity there for Kosecki, but he applauds the effort.
And we also talk, here's an example of the ball coming across. There's where a striker loses out. He misses. See, the keeper stays with it. But, you know, we talk about how the defenders know where they're going on a field like this. But you also got to remember, to the striker, to hit a ball properly, you've got to set yourself properly. And to try to set yourself in a situation like this, you're not going to do it because you have absolutely no traction at all underneath. It doesn't matter what kind of couch you wear, it's not going to help you.
Makélélé. Shanked by Guyot. Actually, I'm impressed with the level of play for Nantes on a field like this today. They came out to attack, and they're doing a pretty good job. They just haven't scored.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just unfortunate that they haven't scored. They've had a few good opportunities, but of course the reason why they're being allowed to attack is so much they're getting a lot of room. They're being giving a lot of room. Panathinaikos realize what they have to do, and they're doing a good job of it. I think it's a good call. I don't think it was out.
Some of the crowd disagrees with you. It's easier to see on that orange ball. Ouédec gave it up. And Durham couldn't get around what looked like a hip check. Play is continuing. That looked like a good opportunity. Had Durham got by that player, you might have seen a 2-on-1 right there inside the box with two good finishers. Here's another good finisher, Pedros. And that pass left something to be desired.
Yeah, it's curling away, curled the opposite way, and Durham not able to get to it.
And Durham, nice soft punch, but maybe too soft. Players have to compensate, and even at times I guess they overcompensate for this. 35th minute, scoreless. Inside the box, intended for Durham. Panathinaikos clear it to the halfway line and beyond. Decroix, number 4 in yellow for Nantes. Dizet. Kosecki way out. Trying to send it inside, but it was right to Panathinaikos.
Well, you know, the Panathinaikos game plan is working perfectly so far. I mean, and they're using the very short passes. They're not trying to go the width of the field with the ball when they're coming out of the bag. And I think it's working to perfection for them.
Kosecki ends up with the ball in the far wing. He's looking for Borelli, but the body doesn't stretch that way. Dizet. Left sideline, Ouédec, 1v1 against Ouzounidis. And the ball is lost.
Well, they really feel that they can take advantage of Ouzounidis, but I haven't seen any evidence of that so far. He's played very solidly down there in the right full position.
Throw-in coming up for Panathinaikos.
Jean-Marc, green jersey, green gloves. These could be playing for Ireland.
We've got an Ireland game, don't we, coming up next week? Big one.
Oh, yeah, we've got a big one at Anfield on the 13th, Ireland against Holland, and all the experts are picking Holland, but I think that Ireland have a chance if they play the way that Gremio played against Ajax last week, played defensively, and I know everybody's saying Ireland's not the team they were in the World Cup. Well, then again, Holland are not the team they were in the World Cup, and either. That's why the two of them are in the playoff. I think it'll be very close, but I'm opting for Ireland. I wonder why.
I'm surprised. We'll have that game next week here on ESPN. It's the final game to qualify for the final team for Euro 96. And that will be on our international audience feed only. Dizet cutting it inside on the pass. Makélélé knocked knocked away by one of 3 different players who were around there. Here's Endurum. Look at this. He's got some traction somewhere. Where did he find that? He's wearing snow tires.
He must chains and everything. Just make sure he stayed up.
Played long. That got the crowd going inside. Endurum couldn't get to that. Got to be tough to time your jump as well. That's an obvious foul on Decroix, upending Borelli.
And Durham was very impressive inside, but what you also have to realize was very impressive. There were 5 Panathinaikos players back there to cover him. I mean, he wasn't going anywhere. He put on a lot of moves, and there just was no opening.
Well, on that whistle, we can change that foul count. Give another one to Nantes. Free kick. Spirited on Marinos. Will leave it off for a teammate to take it, and it will be Borelli. Juan Jose Borelli used to play for River Plate. Now he'll let it go to Panathinaikos. Marinos. Oh, nice move. Perhaps a chance here, Marcos. And now it's knocked away by Nantes. Well, a few times they've had to defend that close to goal. Pedros. Got by. Oh, nice cut. Played it across. Not enough on it. On a dry field, he probably makes a perfect lead pass.
Oh, he makes a great run, but he gets around Panathinaikos. I mean, he actually flies over him. Panathinaikos tries to get the body on him, and there was no way he could get to Pedros.
He's going to get a dry field. He'll keep going. Endurum. Blocked. He's going to get another chance to Wandzik out. A toe-toe. Cleared by Panathinaikos off the line.
Oh, and Endurum should have put that one away himself. He just lost his footing inside of the box. And even then, he's a little bit too unselfish.
And a yellow card was just given to Dizet. So unlucky is not. They should have a goal right before halftime.
Oh, they should have. There's no way. He should have put this one away. Look at this. He has the keeper out, and then he slips the ball across, and that's where the conditions really hurt. Look at this. It's going. It's going. It's out of there.
Kalitzakis with that defensive stop.
Oh, what a stop it was. But if the player on the other side is fit to hold his feet, there's no question about it. He would have ripped a hole in the net.
We're in the 40th minute, and it's still scoreless. Panathinaikos and Nantes. Nantes have been the better side. Make no mistake about that. There is more at stake for them. If they lose this, they may not qualify for the quarterfinals. Probably would. Porto should beat Aalborg today, especially with Aalborg missing 7 or 8 players. But even if they were at full strength. Borelli. Far side. Christodoulou, number 4. To the far wing. Makélélé is defending. Borelli. Nice cut. Nice recovery as well. Borelli trying to slip it through. And again, you got a player who could not change his run.
Yeah, little miscommunication. He plays it to the wrong side. The Panathinaikos player breaks to the right, and Borelli plays it to the left.
The far wing. Coming back the other way. No room for Ouédec. Still scoreless. Closing minutes of the first half. Corner kick coming up. Nantes had the ball. Will Kosecki be the man? Ferri has been coming up for these. Pedros sent it low. Clear it out. Not out of danger yet. Brought back in by Nantes. Pedros wide. Right across. The shot was there. And that was Kosecki open for an instant.
Oh, yeah, and he gets a good strike on the ball. It's Polish international against Polish international. The keeper's the Polish international, and the man who struck the ball, the Polish international.
32-year-old Jozef Wandzik. Headed up by Ferri. Now Makélélé. That possession time has changed maybe 1% over the last several minutes. Snow continues to fall here in Nantes since prior to game time. Here's a steal. Endurum. We had a case of a player. Kosecki actually fell down, or Ouédec make it. And it would have been in an offside position, and the ball gone to him. That should be a yellow. break there.
Oh, yeah, I believe he should have got a card because he pulls him down. Look at this. He just pulls him down on the shoulder, and you can see the referee doesn't catch up to it. Chanelet is very lucky he doesn't get the card.
That might be one of those benefit of the doubt calls that we talked about before, players slipping. And the referee's got to be sharper today, too, to keep up with the play. Talk about the players, no traction. The referee has none either. Great kick. A long strike. Where's the ball? And this is the orange ball. I couldn't spot it for a second.
Well, this is really causing problems. I mean, the visibility here is becoming increasingly less with every passing moment.
Coming all the way back into his own end.
Oh, that was a terrible play.
Kosecki was obstructed, to say the least.
Ouzounidis was the man who did the damage as the player coming back. Should have been a card on it.
He's already got one.
The ball wasn't even close.
Ferri going wide. Closing moments of this first half. Scoreless from Nantes. Pedros has it knocked away. The only time you see a dry spot is when a player makes a slide tackle and then his body sort of serves as a snowplow, as a scoop.
He eventually realized there is grass down here somewhere.
Off a deflection. Play back out for the shot. That's blocked. Cleared away. Throw-in coming up. Dizet. Pedros trying to slip it through. They'll get another throw-in. Marinos knocked it out.
Well, they've everybody back in the box now, Panathinaikos.
Still scoreless here. It goes back to Dizet. Makélélé from the corner. Far post. Wandzik punched it out. Great save. And Dora fires it too high. And there's the case where you were talking before about a player getting position, no traction. Tough shot for him.
Yeah, and the keeper makes his first mistake. He punches the ball right down the middle. Every other time he put it to the side, player picks it up. Durham outside. He bangs it in. Somebody standing on the goal line. Marcus is back there to cover off. But I think if it had been on target, it would have been in the back of the net.
Wandzik will send it up. We're approaching the end of this first half. Players can get themselves dry for a little while. And then go back at it for the second half. We're in injury time by just seconds. Kosecki, number 2. Heading into a dangerous spot. Marinos. Nantes will take over. Ouédec has Pedros wide left. 1v1 for now. Sends it to the far side, and Wandzik could catch that one, so he wisely does.
Well, Ferri was coming from deep, and Pedros just floats it in. Makes it very easy for the keeper. Although on a day like today, nothing's easy.
First half has come to a close, and it's been a good performance by Nantes, although they have, Tommy, nothing to show for it after 45 minutes.
Nothing to show. A few great opportunities. Panathinaikos haven't been interested in scoring at all. What this game really needs is a goal. If Nantes gets a goal, it'll open things up considerably.
And the closest they came was when Endura made a pass to the right side. We saw a toe poke, and then Kalitzakis cleared it off the line. So, it is scoreless after 45 minutes here on match day 6. Coming up at halftime, you like scoring? We'll show you the top 5 scores in the UEFA Champions League and our top 5 countdown. Plus, we'll have first half highlights and hopefully a very good grounds crew here in Nantes. It is scoreless at halftime. Else throughout the field.
Now, they just want to make sure that the important lines are seen, and they wanted to do the centre circle for the kickoff. And, of course, the penalty box is very, very important. Could become a serious factor here, because if you're going to make a mistake, it could be in the penalty box. And mistakes today are players running into one another, players falling and toppling somebody else. It's all to play for yet, JP.
That's why the spacing is so important. A couple of times we saw not getting in the way of each other. We're underway in the second half. Scoreless game. Will we see a goal today? If we don't, if it stays 0-0, Nantes will go through as the second-place team. And they'll have to face Spartak Moscow in the quarterfinals. towards the corner flag, which is the first corner kick for this team in green, Panathinaikos. They had none in the first half. Sent in low and cleared away, but Panathinaikos will take it back. The attempted cross by Laganakakis was denied. Will Pedros have more room in the second half like he had in the first? He was probably the most open attacking player in that first half for either side.
Well, I think Panathinaikos started to realize that, and they started to make some adjustments. I mean, in the last 10-15 minutes, Pedros did not have the amount of ground that he had in the first 20-25 minutes. So they have pushed the number 2 player, Apostolakos, out to mark him, and they're bringing back the number 11 player, Caporanos. He's also back playing. He's just playing outside of the box.
And this one will hop over the far sideline. Margos, one of quite a few players on this Panathinaikos team that have played in the last World Cup. Far side, Pedros trying to send it in. He may get this corner kick. It's very close to the end line. Ouédec trying to get himself in a position. Wandzik already is. It's going to be a throw-in.
It's going to be a snow-in.
I like it. They'll go short.
Well, that's a foul throw.
And Durham, nowhere to go. Nantes will recover. All the way to the far side. That was a great idea to switch it. Makélélé right back at the inside. Off a deflection. Still anybody's ball. Makélélé again. And yet again, Makélélé, the ball is following him. Taken away by Christodoulou, number 4.
Oh, Dizet didn't realize there was a defender in the box. He jumped over the box ball because he had another player inside, and that's a crunch tackle.
Borelli to midfield, right to that halfway line. Now plays it back.
A lot of people feel maybe Borelli might be back on the Argentinian team. His old pal Passarelli is now the man who's coaching it.
Borelli was there during Copa America. We'll find out more during World Cup qualifying, which will begin next fall, I guess, fall of '96.
He's the man who put Panathinaikos here in the preliminary round. He scored a goal against Hijack Splint to win it. That's how they got into the first round proper. Look at the return to the glory days. What, 71? They were beaten by Ajax in the final at Wembley, 2-0. They would love to get to the final this time around.
Swung wide by Borelli. Throw-in coming up. Knocked out by Dizet. Borelli with a knock. There was a crunch. Casagrande out of his area. Makélélé playing very deep now. Chanelet, number 2. They discovered him out of the 2nd division. And we've got a player that was knocked out. Ouédec.
Oh, that's the one sure way to keep him from scoring, and he really hasn't gotten his golden touch in this Champions League at all. I mean, he is such a prolific goal scorer.
There's a chance from outside, but the pass was denied. That was Guyot. I thought he was going to fire it from long distance. He was in an area that seemed fairly dry. Fairly is the best word to put in there. Obvious foul that time on Durham.
Durham coming in low, taking the player out of it. He just lost a little bit of footing.
You know, one time this year in the league, he had scored in 7 straight games before he finally cooled off.
Well, he played for a while in the Cameroon. He had a good career in the Cameroon, and I'm sure he certainly doesn't relish this kind of conditions. I mean, when you consider the conditions that he's used to playing in, very hot and dry, a big change out there for him today.
Chanelet swings it. 5 is Guyot. We're in the 51st minute. Chanelet. side. And that goes out. It was intended for Roman Kosecki.
Oh, Chanelet loves to be here because he was playing with Nims, and Nims went from the first division all the way straight through to the third division in one season. It was an incredible fall from glory.
Nantes with Makélélé and Chanelet. Now in Durham. That one could have been dangerous had it bounced a better way, but Kalitzakis cleared it. Nantes will take it. Kosecki. Chanelet and Wandzik. And you can see there were players open, and Wandzik got caught with his footing. He made a miraculous play.
Well, he was caught between two minds. He wasn't sure which player to pick up. What Ouédec is inside the number 9 player, and then he decides to go because he has 2 men on the back post, and he's trying to cover the 2 men, realizes the ball is played short, makes a great recovery.
Pedros across. And now it's cleared by Panathinaikos. Kalitzakis brought down by Decroix. Decroix says that was a dive, and it's hard to tell a dive in this case. We apologize for the picture breakup, the slight technical problem.
Oh, the keeper's having a great day for Panathinaikos. I mean, he's really come on exactly. I mean, a couple of times that he had to change his mind. I'm not sure how he held his footing, but he sure did.
I think the snow is playing some havoc with the pictures as well. Number 4 is Christodoulou giving it up. Panathinaikos with the ball. Apostolakis with this team since 1989. And this one went out, says the linesman on the far side. Apparently, did they have a foul before it? Apparently they did. Free kick coming up. Morelli. Tackle away. Nice strip.
Oh, he just showed a little too much of it.
4 players on the attack. They try to spring Pedros. He may get it yet. But Wandzik is there. Good read by this international goalkeeper, Wandzik. He's been ready ever since the get-go. A lot of balls have come his way.
Oh, when you look back at his career, you know he started the youth championship in 81 and 83 in Australia and Mexico. I mean, he's just come on and leaps and bounces that time. He plays that position 9 feet as well as anybody at the moment, JP. I mean, he really reads the whole box well. He reacts well to the ball, and he knows when to move.
They'll indicate dive as well, says Ferri. The referee's not buying it.
Oh, you can see there he just slips around one tackle. The second one is the one that's going out. This is the keeper coming through. Look at how he slides down to it. Knows exactly. Keeps his body behind the ball.
Repeating our storyline, Panathinaikos already in, but they could still clinch first place with just a draw here today. Meanwhile, Nantes must get at least a draw in order to advance. The draw gets them in for sure into the next round of 8. If they lose this game and Porto beats Aalborg, then Porto goes in. Apostolakis throw in, headed away by Nantes. Lost it. And Durham lost that physical battle. Apostolakis lost the ball, but he'll get a throw-in for his side.
Well, it's just starting to get a little ragged now, and you can see the lines almost covered up again with the continuous snow here. And psychologically, it takes a toll on you playing in the conditions like this, because you psych yourself out that you really cannot play on it. Look at this. You can see how much snow there is. Look at the snow on the cogs of the boots there.
You had said earlier, it really doesn't matter what your footwear is. There's no shoe that's really made for this.
You need 2-inch cogs.
Played inside. Look out there. It's headed down and cleared. That was dangerous because Casagrande was just looking and looking and wasn't sure where that ball was going to end up.
Well, he was almost an innocent spectator.
Luckily, that ball didn't bounce.
Let's see what happens to him. He just doesn't react well to the ball at all. It's played to the far post. Here's a little nother across. Now he's coming back. A couple of Panathinaikos players there. Ouzounidis is the man who gets the header to it, and he can't keep it out.
You know, he was looking to the right, and the danger was to the left. There were 2 players there. He was lucky. I think if that ball ended up on anyone's foot or head in a green jersey, it was in the back of the net.
And, you know, he's a great story because he just arrived to play with them. He was only going to be used as cover, and the regular keeper got injured after 14 games, and now he's made his international debut as well.
Right side of Chanelet. Neither coach made a substitution at halftime. I guess they figured out as well that they liked what they had out there, and they were already used to these conditions. Why throw somebody else on, at least then? You may see a change or two before this one's over, but nothing at halftime. Now a hop by in Durham, but he got it back in recovery. Kosecki drills it across. There was an open player, and I think Ouédec stopped his run because he realized he had no traction. He was really slipping. He could not. I mean, it looks like he quit there, but I don't think he does. I think he just can't get going.
Oh, Kosecki just doesn't. He fires it a little bit too hard. Look at it's over the player's head. There's no way he can get to that one, JP. Just needed a softer touch. And they could have had the ball on the back of the net. A little bit too hard.
He would have hurt himself trying to adjust his run there in that snow. Snow is also a part of our game day story today. When the game started, we were talking about 5-6 degrees Celsius and light snow, but the snow has gotten heavier and the wind has picked up as well, and the conditions have gotten worse. There's a chance, but it's swept away.
Oh, that was the case of the elements also playing a factor, but a nice sweep away by the Panathinaikos defense as they come across and take the ball out of there. The last man to touch it, Ouzounidis, is the man who was beaten for it, and the ball strips into the middle. There, it's cut out of there. Kalitzakis is the man who puts it away.
He's been the best defender on the field for either side today. Played long into the box. That's where you better be careful. Intended for Ferri. The linesman had the flag up anyway. I got to give you a more accurate weather picture. It was not 5 degrees or 6 Celsius, but 5 below Celsius. Coach Japhet isn't feeling it right now. There are the offside totals in the second half.
Goalkeeper trying to get a bit of feeding into his feet before he kicks the ball. Or else it's a new dance he's inventing.
Not looking to bring it out over the halfway line they come. Tough slip there for Kosecki. And Kosecki will be called for the foul, diving in at Caporanis, trying to make the recovery.
Oh, this one could very easily be decided by a mistake. You see a couple of players losing their footing here. Look at the two number 11s having a battle here. Caporanis and Kosecki.
Panathinaikos out of the back. They come into this game with a 3-1-1 record. 10 points. They've scored 7. They've allowed only 3 goals. Not 2-2-1, 8 points. They've scored 8, but they've given up 6. 5 of the 8 goals scored by Nantes came against Aalborg.
You can see that Nantes was really, I mean, they're going about their business trying to win this game.
Kosecki in front. It was another good chance. Kosecki got it right back. This time off the left foot. Far post. Pedros brought it down. Played it across, or tried to. And it's out of play. But you still have to admire the way they're going out, looking for the attack. They're trying to win this game and the group.
Oh, yeah, the ball going across. Pedros chests it down well. He's going to get the left foot to it, but he's too far extended. And I mean, Ouzounidis is right on him again. Kosecki is the man who plays it across, gets it at the second opportunity. First time he played it short, second time he plays it deep, nicely chests it down, but the ball just runs away from him, and when he extends himself, he gets nothing on it.
This one is played too long, and it will go back to Wandzik. Still scoreless from Bourgeois Stadium in Nantes, France, where it's been snowing all day. And Durham going up against Marinos. Panathinaikos came in, couldn't get it, but now gets some help from a teammate. Here they come. Kosecki. And that was knocked out. Number 9, Andreas Kosecki, could play any one of the forward or attacking positions. Juan Roca may have been colder 1 or 2 other times in his life, but right now he probably doesn't remember when that was.
Well, you know, you wouldn't have blamed both teams if they come out here and said, okay, we're both in with a draw. We don't really have a lot to lose. But, I mean, I'm sure Nantes doesn't want to have to face Spartak Moscow in either. And certainly that seems to be, that's the only reason that they're playing so hard. I mean, to guarantee themselves the win in this particular group. Because, I mean, a tie does put them through.
Many soccer games played on fields like this, whether you're watching on television or at a stadium. The grass is always green, not white. Sent long down the right side. And this one will bounce out of play. No score between Nantes and Panathinaikos. Juve matchup. Right now, Panathinaikos holding on to the top spot of the group.
I guess if both teams had come out and done that, you could have said we're getting a snow job, and it's really getting it snowing.
Yeah, you could have said that. Here's Pedros. Down the left side. Going up against Ouzounidis. Couple of cuts, couple more. Pedros with a cross. Slapped out by Wandzik. He didn't get a lot of it, but Tommy just enough.
Oh, yeah. Kalitzakis is there once again, JP. You pointed out several times. He's having a tremendous game. Watch the keeper. Just gets the touch on it. Make sure that he gets the touch on it. Look at Ouédec inside. Can't find the ball. And then the defender does, Kalitzakis, and he just scoops it out of there.
We're taking a vote for man of the match. You can get my vote right now.
Oh, he's certainly been very instrumental in keeping this scoreline the way it is.
Makélélé. Off the touch. Chanelet. In deep. Awkward pass. I thought he was going to go for the shot at the near post. And Wandzik covers up before Endurum can get to it.
Well, they just keep pushing forward. Defender gets a touch on this one, pushes it over. Look at the way the defender clears it out of there. I mean, that's really taking an opportunity. They're taking a big chance. Kalitzakis again.
Yeah. I didn't see the initial block. That's why the pass was awkward from Chanelet. Give credit to the defense. It was blocked. Pedros on the run with Apostolakis. And he beats him on the inside. Great recovery by Apostolakis. He's about 7 years older than Pedros, but he looked about 7 years younger in that play.
Well, they've made a difference since they started putting him to pick up Pedros. He's really closed them down.
Here's a good run on the right side. Kosecki almost made the big play. Marcos tripped up outside the area, no call. That would have been a nice direct free kick. And one good direct free kick may be all it takes to score in this one. Played long down the left side. Now back inside the box. Maybe a chance, and the back heel was tried. That was the only shot that I guess was available.
Oh, the attacker inside of the box, facing the wrong way. I'm not sure why he had his back to the goal. Watch the ball being squared across inside of the 6-yard box, and he's going to try to backheel it by the keeper. I don't think you'd beat a keeper like that in a situation like this with a backheel. Maybe it was just that he misfired on the kick. A nice play. Kosecki is the man who comes inside. Look at this. He pulls the ball down, tries to pull it back. Not able to do it. It looks like Guyot was the man inside.
These guys had a quiet, fairly strong game. Takis, not normally a starter, but getting time today because of the injured strikers, Wandzik and Donis. Oh, a strip, but not enough for Kosecki to break. Nam in yellow, Panathinaikos in green, Nantes attacking. Endurum. The shot cleared out again. Guess who? Kalitzakis saved another goal.
Unbelievable. He takes it off the goal line. The keeper's beaten. The keeper comes out. And wait till you see what the number 5 does, Kalitzakis. Unbelievable play.
Kalitzakis should have a free dinner tonight, and the man buying should be Wandzik. Should be more than one dinner. Makélélé leaves it off. Endurum was sniffing that goal out. Played long. Oh, Kalitzakis. Crowd thought there was a push. Still ball possession, and Pedros ends it there.
What was that?
He's trying to figure it out as well.
Let's see what happens inside. And Durham is the man coming through. What do you see? He controls the ball nicely inside of the box. Goes a little bit far in front of him. But when the keeper's coming out, he chips it over the keeper. Look at this for a play. I mean, you don't do that on a dry day and get away with it hardly ever. Never mind to get away on a day like today.
If Durham ever looked up, we never saw it in the replay. Maybe he did way back, but he was focused on the ball totally. And he had completely beaten Ouzounidis on that run.
Yeah, he just wanted a little chip, a little bit too soft. He hits it a little stronger and they never come out of there.
Here's a hard shot for the Dwight and Wandzik. You wonder how much better Nantes would be playing on a dry field. I mean, they're getting some opportunities.
Yeah, number 9, Ouédec, is the man who pulls the trigger on that one. Keeper perfectly positioned. Panathinaikos are very tired, JP. They look very tired. The legs are gone out there on them. They've been defending for a long time, and it saps your energy a day like today.
It's a tough game plan. It can't work.
All you have to do is realize yourself and think back to when you run in the snow. Your breath gets very short. It's very thin out there, the air, and that's exactly what's happening here. And I don't think Panathinaikos are fit to stand up to it. They're under all kinds of pressure here.
Nantes. Another foul call, this time on Georgiadis. Bringing down Kosecki.
Oh, we're missing a Georgiadis today. 2 of them on the team. 3 brothers altogether called Georgiadis.
Pedros on this direct free kick. Bends it with the left foot, going outside on the pass. Headed away. Panathinaikos trying to move it out. Here they come. Makélélé. He's been all of their offense today between he and Bareilles.
Well, the crowd don't appreciate what they're doing with it, trying to run out the top of it.
They know what they're doing. And they can handle the crowd. Here's Caparanus. Cut off at the back. Good defensive work by Makélélé. He's been all over this field. Pedros to Ferri. Reynald, Pedros again. Far side in Durham. Nice save by Dizet. To number 4, Decroix. And Nantes will build out of the back. Guyot to 7, Makélélé. This game is still scoreless, but Nantes giving it their very best. Kosecki hits the ground again.
Well, I think he gets the corner. I think one of the Panathinaikos players gets a piece of the ball. There it is, off his knee.
Corner kick. Nantes. They had the huge edge there. It was 5-0 in the first half alone. This guy's played strong today in goal. Wandzik. Pedros. Across. And it never got there. I thought it was last touched by the diving player for Nantes. Decroix. So they're going to say corner, I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to judge that the keeper gets a touch on it.
I didn't see his hand get it. Corner kick. Near post. Up in the air for Wandzik. Oh, couldn't get it. There was some confusion there. A lot of players back. Scary.
Thrills, spills, excitement and adventure inside. Look at the ball hung up because one of the defenders puts his head in the hands of the keeper. It's the number 2 player, Panathinaikos. He puts his head in the hands of the keeper and pushes the ball out of there.
That looks like Kalitzakis. I think he took a shot maybe in the windpipe there. He looks like he's having a hard time breathing. It is Kalitzakis.
Well, let's see what happens. Here's the keeper with the ball. Watch the head come up between his arms. Look at that. It heads the ball right out of his hand.
That's Panathinaikos, so that is not the injured player. Trying to find out where he is.
The injured player is just to the right of that. Here he comes across. There he gets
right there.
Right there. He goes back into the goal mouth. He's going to cover up the number 11 player. Kosecki is the man who hits him.
Kosecki got him. It looked like in the windpipe. It looked unintentional because Kosecki certainly had as much wrong with him. That would be a disaster if Kalitzakis were ever eliminated from this game.
Can you imagine how the goalkeeper would felt had the ball ended up at the back of the net? His own defender actually put his head up between his arms.
If Kalitzakis had to leave the field there with an injury, Wandzik would probably want to leave with him. Another corner kick. That's, I guess, 10-1 for Nantes. Pedros far side. Nobody there. Look out. There's a shot off the left foot. Stopped by Wandzik, and it short hopped him. But there's where the treacherous footing helped not, because the Panathinaikos player slipped, allowing that ball to come free for a shot.
And the number 5 there once again. Kalitzakis is involved in the play. Watch the ball coming in. He's going to get in front of the keeper, and he almost causes a problem. He almost ended up being the goat. It came off the keeper's head.
That's why it's short hopped. I didn't see his foot get in it. Saw it from that replay. Makélélé inside, punched out by Wandzik. Not out of danger yet. Pedros went up for that, but he doesn't come down with it. Here is Ouzounidis, number 3 for Panathinaikos. This is as good an effort I think you'll ever see from any team playing in the snow. We're talking about Nantes here, not Panathinaikos, unless you want to talk defense. But I mean, the way they're attacking and moving the ball, pleasure to watch on a very bad field.
Oh yeah, they're certainly exhibiting some skills that we didn't realize a lot of soccer players have. This is a great performance.
Kosecki, strong down the left side, into the box, drills it. Far and wide. I believe he was shooting, even though he had a player coming in at the right side.
Oh, he has a player on the back post, but I think he pulls the trigger on this one. Wants to get it into the net himself. He sees the goalkeeper off his line just a little bit. He's trying to squeeze it in on the short side. It's not going to happen. It's a little bit too high. Look, he looks up, knows where everybody is, and now he decides, let me see where everything is. Let me have one more look. There it is. I think he was shooting, JP.
I do too. No question on the replay.
The snow has eased off just a little bit, so I'd say we might get this one in.
Durham to Pedros. Talked about the mentality of playing in this game. Obviously, Nantes has pretended that this is Orlando or Miami, Florida. I mean, it's in their mindset that there's no snow on this ground, because that's the way they've attacked here in the second half. And I thought they would come out that way, and then maybe if it didn't go their way, perhaps they would change, but we haven't seen it.
Nice control there by Pedros. He just can't come up with the ball in the end.
Bottom line, they came out to win this, but they don't want to lose this. Those were a couple of games that were incomplete from March of '91.
AC Milan's game was called off because of floodlights, and the next game was called off because the pitch was invaded by the crowd on that occasion.
Invaded by the crowd at a soccer game? Go figure.
Never happened.
Never. Nantes Panathinaikos, scoreless. If this result holds up, Nantes will advance into the next round, which will be the quarterfinals or the round of 8. Apostolakis inside. That one was almost disastrous. Could have gone off another player for Nantes. Play down on the left side. Panathinaikos. Few times they've had some kind of ball possession this deep, and there they lose it. You're watching Match Day 6 here on ESPN along with Tommy Smith. I'm Jean-Paul Delacamera from the snowy Bourgeois Stadium in Nantes, France, where Nantes needs only a draw in order to advance in Group A. Hello, that's a little dangerous, Casagrande. The quarterfinals will actually begin March 6th. We'll have one leg on the 6th, another on the 20th. The winner of Group A, which could be Panathinaikos, will take on the Group B second-place winner, which could be Legia Warsaw or Rosenborg, and then Spartak Moscow would play the team that finishes second in this group.
Well, you'd have to be fancying Legia Warsaw. I mean, if Blackburn Rovers are ever going to get something out of the season, they've got to come up with a big occasion today. I mean, they've had a terrible season so far. They've one last chance. Look what the keeper does. Sliding in, could have been taken away from him.
I would love to see the coach's reaction shot there at the same time. His coach. Here's a deflection in front, headed away by Apostolakis. Makélélé couldn't get it. Who wants it? Headed back by Guyot. Look out! Wandzik, though, had his footing. He was sure-footed that time, and he had to be with Pedros.
Oh, Pedros coming in on the doorstep. Wandzik plays it very well. Little bit of a touch on. Watch this. Pedros coming onto it. It comes back off of the defender. He's very quick to react, but the keeper's just a little bit quicker. We're in the 76th minute now.
of a scoreless game. Nantes and Panathinaikos. Nantes have played very well in this game. In fact, they're playing better than I've seen them in a couple of games already this year. On drier, better fields. Pedros gave it up in the middle. Falling down was Ferri. Borelli hasn't let the snow bother him either today. He's been pretty sure-footed on the ball. Spirited on Marinos. That one apparently stayed in play.
I wonder at some point are Nantes going to say, okay, we've tried as hard as we can. Do we now ensure, do we qualify for the next round by not giving up a goal? Do we start to pack the defense at some stage?
You know, that was my point before, because I thought if they came out and realized maybe it's not going to happen with the weather conditions like this, but they would think it's better to at least get in, because if they lose this, you got to figure Porto would win. At least that would be my mindset going in. So maybe they would, but already, Tommy, we're in the 76th, 77th minute, and they've not done it yet.
Now, they still haven't pulled back. I mean, they're still coming forward, and it just shows you the respect they have for Spartak Moscow, where they really don't want to meet them under any conditions, and they also like to win this particular group.
I still think they like the way things are going here, and they still think that they can get a cracking goal, or better crack. They win it, and they get first place.
Well, if they give up a goal here and they lose it, there will be a lot of second-guessing of this coach, Don.
You're talking dollars, a large windfall of dollars.
Big one.
Kosecki, ready, willing and able. Delivers it inside off a deflection. And Durham had it blocked. Kalitzakis again.
Incredible afternoon for Kalitzakis. Durham pulls the trigger on it.
Kalitzakis better get a tape of this one. Show it to the grandkids someday.
Yellow card coming.
Makélélé being spoken to, but the card was already brought out by the referee and instantaneously.
Yeah, I don't think there's any intent. He's just playing onto the ball, and then he takes the player out of it. The player coming through takes the ball away from him. Chris Tadolu is the man. There's the shot that Kalitzakis breaks down.
Makélélé does get the yellow. Very slow to get up is Tadolu. That's Chanelet speaking to the coach, Suardo, who coached this team from 1982 to 88, then went and left the team, came back in 91, won the title in 95. Makelélé's yellow card is confirmed.
Well, they've won the title 7 times. Nantes having 65, 66, 73, 77, 80, 83 and 95. But they've always had a tough time in the European Championship. I mean, they lost out to Glasgow Celtic in the second round, and they lost out to Atletico Madrid in the second round, and also Inter Milan. So they've never managed to get to the quarterfinals. This is their best opportunity, and you could throw at the way they're playing. I'm not saying they shouldn't be playing this way, but certainly they could leave themselves open at the back. They're pushing everybody forward, looking to win this one.
Lost there by the halfway line. Decroix making a mistake. Marinos with the spin move. Of course, you could make that spin move accidentally today. It's been snowing since the game started, and as you say, it's really let up. It was coming down hard late in the first half. Down that left flank, no room there as that ball goes out. There you can see with that camera angle a better view, but that's light snow compared to what we saw before.
Yeah, the flakes are getting bigger, but the intensity is not there. I mean, it was blowing down before. It was starting to look like a blizzard for a while.
People think I'm working with one of the biggest flakes. There is Roca looking on, eating hot coffee, not that water. 80th minute. And it's scoreless. Corner kick coming up. Panathinaikos, one of their few, only their second, I believe, and this one hops across. Pedros with it clear. All the way back halfway line, and it goes out. Roca used to be a player for this team. In fact, spent 10 years here. Used to coach Boca Juniors as well.
Enjoying a good season once again with Maradona back. Really in the thick of things for the Argentinian championship.
Throw-in coming up for Caporanes. And we've still not seen any substitutions either. I think that's probably very smart on the part of both coaches now.
Well, you become accustomed to playing in this, and the only way they're going to bring on a coach is that if somebody really gets exhausted.
Borelli will give it up. Caporanes. That stays in play. Oh, but a giveaway. Borelli. Look out! Great move, and he's stripped! And the referee says no, he's not.
Oh, that's a penalty, referee.
Oh, yes. Would not have been something right there. With no real attack today, Panathinaikos with a chance there. Would have been a penalty kick. If they get it, would have made it tough with the Porto-Aalborg game going on at the same time, and Porto favored to win. You could have seen Nantes eliminated right there.
That's what I mean about Nantes, the way they've played this game, and I'm certainly not an advocate of defensive play, but watch the ball inside. Borelli pushes the ball through. Here's the defender coming. Look at this. He takes the player down. There's no question about it. Ferri is the man who does the damage.
Oh,
Look at that. That's a penalty. Now we got the snow job.
Penalty in any country, except for France today. Lifted long by Georgiadis. And Casagrande is there. And here's where he's got to be careful because he's not been busy today, as you mentioned before. He's the cold or colder goalkeeper. Wandzik has been tested a lot.
You got to try to keep yourself warm, and you got to try to keep yourself agile. Look at the difference in the fouls. 25-7.
Boy, even if that's off by a few, that's staggering. Throw in on the far side of Kosecki. A lot of holding going on there by both.
Well, I think we can write this one off. There's going to be a draw. I haven't seen anything to change my mind now. There's been a couple of occasions here where it could have been changed, but I think it's going to be a draw, JP.
Chanelet to the right side of Makélélé. Can he get around Caporanes? Well, the ball's still in play. Deflected away and swept out. Georgiadis helped out. Nantes still scrambling after this ball. And Durham back to the halfway line. Decroix. Dizet. Now it's Pedros one-on-one with Marinos. Time running out on Nantes' bid to finish in first place, but not in their bid to finish second. And a draw will do it.
Now we're going to get a sub.
Got to wonder about that this late. Tough from behind. Is there a card coming? No, a break there on that tackle from behind by Dizet, who already has one yellow, so he's really fortunate.
Looks like Panathinaikos are the men who are going to take on the sub, JP.
Maybe somebody's hurt. The later this gets, the least likely I would be even thinking about making a switch now.
I see number 14 down there warming up.
Played long into the box. Here's Ferri. Down to the far side. Pedros. Oh, what a bad pass with the giveaway to Marinos. 7 on the right side is Borelli. And the recovery was made there by Nantes. Borelli probably still can't believe that penalty kick that wasn't called. Nantes got a break there. And if this ends up in a 0-0 draw, as well as they played, they got a very good break. Because there should have been at least a penalty kick called at the other end.
And like, it wasn't that the referee didn't see it. The referee was perfectly positioned. I mean, he was within 10 yards of the players involved.
He was gesturing to get up, let's go, keep going. We're going to see the switch now. This is very interesting. Reynald will come in for Kosecki. And it's only a guess that perhaps Kosecki is injured. I just don't see making a switch when a guy's into the game, and he's got the mindset. If this is a defensive switch, that's different, but, I mean, it's so late in the game.
Well, I think that's what they're doing. They're taking in a defender now to do a little bit more defending. Kosecki had done a great job of supplying whatever little bit of fireworks that they've had.
Reynald, though, is only 22 years old. He's not an experienced player, and he's listed as a forward.
But he's fresh legs now. They're probably going to drop a few people back. I would say they're going to start. They have to go into a shot at this stage. You still can't go ahead looking for the win and leave yourself open at the back. They've done it all game.
Panathinaikos gives it back to Marinos, number 10. On the outside, Caparanus. We're in the 86th minute, match day 6, the final day of this round. After today, we'll know who the final 8 will be. We already know a few of the teams, but we're not sure of all of these positions, including Group A. But we'll have Group A figured out in about 4 minutes. Georgiadis gives it up.
It certainly looks a lot like Christmas out there, but to the Panathinaikos supporters, I think it'll be Christmas Day for them if they win this group and don't have to face Spartak Moscow in the quarterfinals. They'll really consider it an achievement.
This one's not over, though. Panathinaikos got free. Right on his front. Chanelet. Could have been an own goal, and it was a player in front, Marcos.
That has to be a free kick. The player plays the ball back to him.
Right.
He can't do that.
You're right.
He's going to play it back with his foot.
You're right.
They got away with another one. The ball squared across. I know it's inadvertent, but yet no, he knows exactly what he's doing. He slips the ball back to him. That's a back pass.
I was thinking about potential of an own goal originally. Wouldn't that have been something?
Well, I mean, Nantes don't deserve that to happen to them. I mean, the way they've played, they don't deserve to be put out. I mean, they came here, they entertained the crowd, they played very entertaining, attacking football. And I mean, it would be a disaster for them to give up something at this stage.
Imagine the way this game would have been for you and I if Nantes played the way Panathinaikos did today. Would have been a longer day.
Certainly would.
Probably even colder. Makélélé in the closing minutes of a scoreless match. But a result that would still see Nantes get through. But in a positive way, the way they've come out today. They're not backing it.
Now, they've played very well. I mean, they've taken the game to Panathinaikos, and they've played very well.
Makélélé with a cutting pass. Trying to hold up his run was Reynald and stay onside.
And like, it's so cold here, we've mentioned it before, the band haven't been able to play. That's how cold it is.
Wandzik. Again, Kalitzakis has been the best player in the field for my money, and Wandzik is probably a close second. Throw in. Well, it didn't go out. Ferri. Right side. He joined us late. That is not the same game ball we started with. It was a white ball before, but it was getting lost out there in the white snow. Goalkeepers, you would think, would have had a problem with it, and the referee wisely made the change early in the first half to that orange ball. We're in the 89th minute. Ferri.
Ferri still going forward.
We're at the halfway line. Cleared away, intended for Indorum. Reynald on the chase. Knocked away to the back. Right back to Wandzik. And Wandzik will clear. Headed right back by Ferri. Pedros chases. Apostolakis is there. Panathinaikos with the ball. They are less than a minute away, depending on injury time, from winning Group A. And who would have thought that before this started? Georgiadis gives it up. Headed away by Nantes. Paparanis now to number 4, Christodoulou. Well, Panathinaikos is killing the ball, and now it's stolen away. We are into injury time now. you believe another switch?
No, I can't believe this.
I think I might be upset if they wanted to bring me in now.
Well, he's certainly not superstitious. He's going to play number 13 at this stage of the game.
Yuma for Panathinaikos. For Borelli, this guy's played a strong game in midfield for Panathinaikos.
Oh, yeah, he's had a great game. I mean, he's done a tremendous amount of running, both on the ball and off the ball. He's controlled the ball very well. His job is done, and he's acknowledging to the fans. There are quite a few Panathinaikos fans here.
Injury time is where we're at. I don't think there'll be too much of it. Makélélé. Right side, Chanelet. Inside the box, and Durham tackled away. And this goes out. The ball is going to go back the other way to Panathinaikos. Or no, they're going to give it a corner. Going to give it the corner. We're over a minute into injury time.
Panathinaikos don't want to lose it now.
Wandzik looking on. Played across. It's loose. And Durham couldn't get a foot to it. Here's the Makélélé shot that's blocked.
Christodoulou is the man who saved the game inside number 4. He's the man who gets the initial dropping ball out of there, and it looked like a very dangerous situation. Referee's looked at his watch, looked at it a couple of times, not sure what he's waiting on.
Probably can't see it. That's it. Game over. Panathinaikos wins Group A, but Nantes will advance, deservedly so, Tommy, to the final 8.
Oh, Nantes got an early Christmas box, a penalty and an indirect free inside of the box that were not awarded to Panathinaikos, which could have made a difference, but really they deserve to be there, JP. They played very well. They entertained us. Good open.